Hey guys, Gamer of Gamers in the Zone, and welcome to another episode of Epic Battle Fantasy 4. In the last episode, we had made our way to the end of the Lanky Root Jungle, and took quite a bit of time prepping ourselves up for the upcoming boss here. Well, there's a couple of skills here I could probably increase with Matt, I guess, before we get started. So why don't we upgrade, I guess, Ragnarok, since that's can be a decently useful limit break, though obviously not as powerful as Cleaver. Alright, we'll get that upgraded as well eventually. Then for this, I guess we can upgrade the nuke, even though I'm probably gonna never use the nuke considering how dangerous that ability is. Anyway, let's get started on the boss. We did quite a bit of prepping ourselves last episode, and we're about roughly all an even level for this. Though, to be sure, let me just quick check everyone's stats to be sure we're all at a similar level here. Okay, yep, we are. So we should be able to stand a decent chance here. Obviously, main objective at hand here, immediately start getting the defenses up. Primary objective right there. Then we can have Lance prepare a bullet hell attack on... Let's go for the Holy Plant. These guys don't have any earth weaknesses, which means that it'll be a good idea for Anna to focus towards casting abilities like Gaia Blossom, because doing that can make the boss tired, which decreases their chance of actually landing hits on us, which will be useful in that regards. So in my eyes, I'd say we're off to a pretty good start. Although there's some pretty strong targets on screen at the moment, so why don't we target you next, since that'll take those two attackers out. And then why don't we then whip out Natalie so we can get Lance healed up. Just quick whip out Natalie for a quick heal spell. Because I want to have Anna keep casting the Gaia Blossom, because as long as Anna keeps casting the Gaia Blossom, he has the least likely chance of hitting anyone. And then by combining that with taking the time to cast Reflex as well, it'll increase everyone's evasion, basically making it to where their attacks won't be hitting anyone at all. Alright, now I'm going to focus an attack on that attacker down there. Definitely want to be mindful of all the attackers on screen, because they can be quite dangerous. Alright. Can't take this smell anymore. I think I'll just hold my breath for the rest of the battle. Alright, so far nothing too dangerous. I will keep having Lance focus his attacks towards the other enemies. Though considering Anna's current position, why don't we have Lance cast a med pack on Anna? And considering the flowers on screen, why don't we go ahead and cast Barrier? Because water and electric plants are a bit of a dangerous combo. Anyway, keep casting Gaia Blossom to make sure that the boss remains tired. Oh, staggering everyone here. Alright, that's okay though. Alright, I think we're about finished with Natalie. So let's get Matt back out here. Have Lance start targeting those stun flowers, because they can be quite dangerous if they, you know, stun anyone. So that's what I'm going to keep focusing that towards, just keep getting everyone tired, and then I want to have a widespread attack. Except Screamer's pretty weak. Swift Slash is also weak. It's actually weaker. Is there something I could maybe summon at this? Except I don't want to summon anything yet, and I don't want to go wasting the limit break just yet. You know what? Why don't we just use Swift Slash, since that'll at least finish one of them off, and the other one gets siphoned, so we're good here. Alright, that one is charging up though, so I should probably be mindful of that. Oh, good, the mammoth took it out. Never mind. Alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and cast Reflex to increase everyone's evasion. Lance and Matt. Why don't we have Matt get the protection? Well, no, not yet. But I think I'm going to go all out on this guy over here. So that way he doesn't remain a danger. And now there's pretty much no flowers left on screen now. Come on, you call that an attack? You're better than that. We're getting to be too powerful for you, buddy. Take a look at this. He does send in a new plant every turn, but we're getting to the point where his attacks aren't hitting us at all. So I just keep casting Reflex, and we're pretty much untouchable at this point. Now I should probably keep an eye out on those other enemies, though, before we get too careless. And I think I'd also like to make sure we heal a little bit, so let's cast Power Metal this turn. Oh, that's an instant death attack? Okay, that changes a few things. Alright, well, why don't we take this time to have Matt use a coffee on Anna. And then we go ahead and have Natalie activate her limit break. So that way next turn we can go ahead and go all out with our next attack. And I think I would like to... What do I want to do here? I don't want to cast any poison attacks or any kind of attacks in general that could risk being extremely powerful. So let's just focus a Power Blast on the main boss itself for some high damage as well as large damage to some of the other enemies. Yeah, he definitely felt that one. Yep, figured it would heal. Alright, what's it whipping out? Okay, it's whipping out Strong Guys. Does Matt have the right sword for this? I'm gonna take a look here. Also, how is Matt's attack power weakened? I just noticed that. Alright, with that being the case, I think I'm gonna have to take this turn to switch to a different sword, so I can deal with those other enemies. Because that's gonna be a bit of a problem to deal with. And of course, most of my other swords are weak. So... because they're all holy weapons, so the only one I can really focus a high power attack on is the main boss itself. So I guess that's what I'm left with no choice but to do this turn. Then why don't we keep that Reflex up? Leaving us with Natalie. Natalie, why don't you go ahead and also focus some strong attacks on those enemies? Why don't you cast Pulsar? Because you're at high power at the moment, and... oh, it wasn't enough. Also, a bunch of flowers are beginning to appear, so we'd better do something here. Let's guess another Gaia Blossom to start, because we need to make sure we keep attacking everyone. Natalie, keep at it with Pulsar. Which took all of them out, wow. And then a Power Metal to get everyone partially healed. Oh, that decreased our max HP, okay. Wasn't expecting that. So let's have Anna keep at it with the Gaia Blossoms, because we really need to keep that thing's ability to hit us down. Next, why don't we go ahead and cast... should I think of casting another Pulsar? Yeah, why not? Those things are strong. And Natalie has a ton of MP right now. Now, considering our current position, why don't we have Matt take this turn to get the defenses up? That ain't doing anything to... okay, well, that's a bit of a strong attack. So why don't we go ahead and get everyone's evasion up? Natalie, considering the fact that you have strong magic power, why don't you cast a fireball on that one over there? Because you have strong attack power and that unfortunately wasn't enough to really be significant. I probably should have aimed for the weaker one. Because now Natalie's probably about to die. None of the attacks... Oh, no, Matt just got hit. So we're going to need to take Matt off the screen for this turn and whip out Lance. In which we need to focus our attacks on the main unit. Taking out all the side plants. So let's get our evasion up again, so we're able to continue avoiding his attacks. Look at that, they're hardly hitting us anymore, so as long as we keep our evasion high and keep our opponent tired, we got this in the bag at this point. Let's do cast the heal more, though, just to keep everyone alive. Take you out so you can't heal anyone. But I think we have this boss fight in the bag at this point, considering the fact that these guys aren't showing to be much of a danger to us. We do need Anna to keep the Gaia Blossom going. Make sure everyone remains tired. And then Lance, you focus an attack on that one over there. And then why don't we have Natalie cast another Pulsar. Whoa, okay, that's a strong attack. Yeah, I think Matt's not stunned anymore, so let's go ahead and have Anna use a turn to revive Lance. And then we go ahead and let Lance take this turn off. In the meantime, we need to take out that enemy up there. So let's cast Interruption and take it down. That wasn't enough. Okay, luckily no one got tired, so we're fine there. Mainly it's just coming down to, at this point, making sure that no one gets taken down. That's really all it comes down to at this point. That's it. Ooh, stunned. Yes, okay, that's gonna buy us some time. Probably should have focused that turn towards increasing everyone's evasion, but I made my choice. Then, okay, why don't we then have Matt get all of our defenses up. And then Natalie... Okay, Natalie, why don't you just focus an all-out attack on the main boss, since the physical one isn't that much of a danger until it gets low on health. Alright, now, Natalie, I'd like you to heal. Because everyone's getting low on health. Matt, I would like you to give Anna a cupcake. And then focus this turn towards... I would consider increasing evasion. No, let's keep the invasion up. So I want to make sure these guys aren't capable of hitting us. Even though a lot of these attacks are still... Uh-oh! They're healing up. That was enough to kill Natalie? Seriously? Alright, time to get Natalie off the screen. You've been useful till now, Natalie, but that's where it ends for you. Alright, next, let's cast a Dispel. Get those regenerative abilities out of here, because those are going to be a pain to deal with. And then Lance, focus an all-out attack. Why don't we actually... I think anti-matter... No, Bullet Hell's much stronger. Of course, it's a little bit weaker. And that physical attacker is going to be a bit of a danger. Or maybe not, now that it's been healed. Alright, what's it going to do now? It killed Lance as well. Okay. It's getting it to be a little bit more difficult than I expected. Especially with the fact that it seems that they got rid of their tired status effect. So I think this will be a good opportunity to, well... No, wait. Let's take this opportunity to cast Oblivion or something, or... We could also cast the Ion Cannon, since we never... No, Oblivion's stronger. And no one has really any bomb weaknesses, or bomb resistances, so it'll be more beneficial to cast Oblivion. So then the remaining enemies are going to be very low on health, as shown here. Meaning that one swift slash should probably take some of them out. That took none of them out? Okay, we might be in trouble here. Yeah, because that's high damage. Matt's dead. Oh, we are in big trouble. Okay. Oh, and that one's going... Okay, luckily it missed. Okay. We're in a lot of trouble right now because a lot of characters are currently dead. So let's take the time to get them all healed. Alright, and then let's get Natalie on screen. And why don't we take this turn towards maybe getting some magic defense up? Let's go back towards increasing some defense here. Of course, they heal the main boss this turn. And they decrease max HP. Okay. So let's take this turn to get that up. I really didn't think we'd get to this point, but we're now at that point in the game where we have to focus more towards support. And it's really slowing the game down. Especially as long as that white plant is able to keep healing, because look at that, it's just healing the main boss now. Which is going to remain a problem if we don't get rid of it. So my suggestion is that now is our chance to unleash some strong attacks on it. So, Natalie, go ahead and use Pulsar. And then have Matt take it out. That wasn't enough to take it... Okay, this has to take it out. Okay. And a bunch of characters are now stunned. And it's regenerating on a turn where I really could be using Matt at this time. Well, this is taking a turn for the worst. Had a bit of a plan in mind here, and it's all going downhill. So I guess I'll start by taking at least one of them out so they can't do much. No, I didn't. No! No! Oh, I messed up big time. I didn't mean to backdrop, and of course I backdrop one who's currently stunned, so okay. Well, at least Anna's not dead. But yikes. That's not good. Let's get them off the screen, get Matt in here, so Matt can get revived. I was not ready for that. Okay, we need to keep taking these plants out, because there's way too many of them on screen. And then dispel that regeneration. And of course the main boss doesn't get dispelled. The one that I really wanted to be dispelled doesn't get dispelled. And Anna died again. Good thing I stocked up on plenty of coffees, otherwise this would be much more difficult. Okay, why don't we get... this is very bad. Because everyone's running low on health. I'm running out of ideas here on how to keep us alive. Because I want to make sure that those support plants don't keep regenerating the boss. So I'm kind of left with no choice here but to keep having Lance. And it's a widespread heal. Look at that, the boss... We were making good progress on the boss, but now the boss is just... keeps getting more and more health. This is not good. Things were going so well before, now it's just... all falling down. Alright, just get Natalie out here, keep everyone healed. There's gotta be something I can do, but at the same time, there isn't. So my best option is just get rid of that healer, so that way the boss's health doesn't keep going back. What was that? Oh, I am about to die. I am actually about to die. I lost. Okay, well, I was doing good early on in that boss fight, but then things really went downhill there. So I think it's really a high priority to make... Like, here's the problem. It keeps bringing in a new flower every turn. And it's like, either I focus on damaging the flowers, but deal practically nothing to the boss, or deal damage to the boss, but deal nothing to the flowers. It's just a constant pattern where I can't get anywhere. Okay, so new plan. I have one more plan on a way I can get through this. And if this doesn't work, I think I may have to take some time to level up a bit more offline. If this plan doesn't work. But I got a bit of a plan as of a way I can get through this. First off, rather than having Anna in here, I'm gonna focus more towards defense so we can be able to last long against our opponents, rather than stuff like evasion. While evasion was effective, it didn't always help since there were still instances where we were getting hit, and when we did end up getting hit, it ended up hurting us big time in the long run. So that's really going to be our focus here, is making sure that, like, we have the defense to be able to survive. So it's a bit of an odd formation that the party's taking, but I think it'll be the more beneficial route if we want to survive against this boss. As well as at the same time make sure everyone remains healed. So my objective is to focus all out on attacks that actually harm the boss. And considering the flowers that are currently out on screen, I think it'll be the most beneficial to focus towards attacks that hurt the boss specifically. Let's see, considering its weaknesses, I think it'll be best to just keep focusing towards fire attacks. I think that's how I'm going to do things, just keep firing at the boss. Seriously, that missed? Come on. As long as there's no healing plants, because you saw that my attention would always be focused towards the healing plants whenever they'd end up on screen. So as long... This is going to go downhill very fast at this rate, considering my setup. Because now I have to bring Anna out to revive Natalie. Alright, why don't we just go ahead and activate the limit breaks now. Although now is probably not a good time. But I want to try and focus on dealing with all these enemies here. So why not deal with you? Just deal with as many enemies as we can, so they aren't an annoyance. Just focus on attacks directly aimed at the boss, so we can take them out quickly. Okay, so Anna is now down. So now let's have Lance cast his limit break to be able to deal some high damage to those other enemies on screen. Taking one of them out? No, that didn't take one of them out. Although this should take both of those guys out for sure. Actually, no, let's heal. Let's cast Power Metal, which will take both of those guys out. So I'm not sure if that should be my objective. Except there are instances like those where regardless of defense that I'm like still gonna die. So that's something I'm gonna need to consider going into this fight. Alright, I think we're doing fine now, so why don't we take this turn getting our defenses up. That's something I'm gonna put higher emphasis on, is just keeping our defenses high. Alright, Alright, get Lance back out. And then, what do I want to cast here? Not sure what to cast. Oh yeah, Pulsar. We have Pulsar. That should deal some high damage. Alright, and that other enemy down there has hardly any health left, so I think I'm going to focus this attack towards a move on the main boss. Alright, who's getting hit? Okay, that one's getting hit. That's fine. These are mostly water enemies, so I don't have to... These ones aren't very powerful, so I don't think I'll need to worry about them very much. So I think for now we can focus all out on attacking the main boss. Of course they aim for the one with weak defense. Come on. You keep having to make me bring out Anna to revive. Alright, for now, I'd suggest probably getting... No, let's go ahead and take out this plant over here, because water and lightning is a deadly combo, so I'd prefer not to have both of them out at the same time. You aim for Lance again? Come on. And it ends up being another lightning one. This time I'm not as worried, though, since the water one is now taken out. So why don't we take this turn towards... maybe get... No, we're fine with this combo. Okay, let's go back to attacking the boss now. Because I want to keep making forward progress on this boss. Everyone keeps getting taken out in one hit, and it's always by the boss's attacks. Really leaves me unsure what I'm going to need to do about that. Alright, let's take this turn getting some more defenses up. Since nothing dangerous is on the screen at the moment. Not sure what to do when max HP is lowered like that. Anyway, let's get Lance back on screen. Lance doesn't have any sort of buffs, so we're in a little bit of trouble here in terms of that. But anyway, let's focus back on attacking the main boss now. So I really want to take out that boss as quickly as possible. I know my attacks aren't taking it out very quickly, but we're making progress. That's what matters here. Watch, it's going to aim straight for Natalie. Okay, no, not Natalie, but... Oh, Natalie's still going to die, isn't she? Okay, see, it's this kind of stuff right here that causes things to go downhill, because now I need to take the time to get everyone revived. That's going to take a while. Especially if not done correctly. So first off, get those guys revived. Then I'll go ahead and use a coffee to get Lance back up, and then we can whip Natalie back out so she can heal everyone. Next turn, though, we'll probably want to get defenses back up for Natalie. Because Natalie's the vulnerable one here. And they're whipping out their healing skills, so I'm probably going to need to take this turn to cast Dispel, so that way they don't remain an issue. Dispel. Alright, get Lance back out here, and get magic defense up. And then use Medpack on Matt, so Matt doesn't die. Though Lance also wasn't at full health, so that's a little bit of a danger there. What? Oh, that must have been a physical attack, wasn't it? Once again, I'm left having to... this boss likes to unleash the worst attacks at the worst times. That's the problem here. Alright, let's just take this turn towards healing so I can at least land a hit on the boss. I think that's what I'd like to do this turn. Is just get everyone's defense... have at least a chance at getting everyone's defenses back up here. So this has been going downhill rather quickly. I'm fine with this conversation as long... What is this combo? Alright, the game has left me with no choice but to take this turn to take the time to revive some lands. Since everyone else is going to be useless this turn, is there anything at all that lands can do? Probably not, so I get the feeling that there's going to be a lot of death this turn. Let's at least see if I can land a decent hit here on the boss. I feel like if I target it directly towards that one, I'd at least be able to have him taken out. Because now whatever the boss... Okay, it was a single-handed attack. So that's the good news. Bad news is that I have 2 characters dead again. Now back, once again, towards having to focus all out on healing. If only Natalie had enough for the limit break, we could go all out here. Alas, we're a bit limited on resources. And, of course, they directly target Anna here. That one's charging up for an attack, so let's hurry up and get Anna out of here. And whip out lands. Let's start by dealing with that guy over there. So that way he can't fire his attack. And then who else should we get rid of here? Let's take this turn towards getting some defenses up, because we're in a very tight situation. Now, I'd prefer we stick with high defenses. Alright, and someone's about to die again, aren't they? Yep. Like always, it's Lance. So once again, I'm gonna need to use up a turn to revive him. You know what, before I bring Natalie back out, why don't we go ahead and cast another Oblivion, so we can take down a few of those flowers. Because those have always been a constant annoyance. And then let's see if maybe I can get the defenses high enough here to be able to do something. No, I think someone's bound, at least one character is guaranteed to die here, so let's just focus at attacking the boss. Yeah, but it's always a guarantee that at least one character dies. That's kind of my assumption at this point. Alright, let's get Lance out of here. And replaced with a bit more of a qualified character for this. Also, Matt needs some MP, so let's have him consume a cupcake. Alright, who's the unfortunate loser this time? That one, okay. So really could have used that guy's help. Things are not looking good for us right now, considering the state of things at the moment. If anyone needs to go, it's that... No, wait, okay, no, let's focus on a widespread heal. And then try and go ahead and use my usual tactic of freezing an enemy if it becomes a problem. So I'm going to stun the healer. So I really want to keep making forward progress on the boss. And yep, another character is now dead. And of course, out of all the characters, it's my reviver that gets stunned. Okay, we're back in the middle of a dangerous combination here, so let's get Lance revived. Have Lance immediately cast Bullet Hell to take out that healer, because the healer's annoying. And then take this turn towards maybe a direct heal on Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Lance is probably about to die again anyway. Oh my goodness. I was not okay, once again we have 2 characters dead. Just always seems to be how it goes. Alright, well, let's get the magic working here. Oh, Natalie's limit break is full. This is our chance to go all out again. Although the other limit breaks aren't ready yet, though. But at this point, I need to hurry up and get everyone's stats raised so we can have a chance at winning this fight. And of course, he aims for the weak one, which happens to be Natalie. And once again, my reviver gets stunned. You know, this is really getting on my nerves, how much that's happened today. Really thought we'd have a chance here, and then this happens. Alright, let's focus an all-out attack on... Can I dispel? No, probably not. Let's just focus a direct heal on Natalie. And, just a general defense buff. Though I probably should focus towards a more magic buff. Magic defense buff. That probably would have been more useful. Whoa! I haven't seen that attack yet. Of course, I wasn't quite ready for that. At least we're alive. Giving Matt an opening to go all out with this attack. Really try and make it some more forward progress on that boss. Moving on. I do think I'd like everyone healed up here, so let's cast a heal more. Fortunately, Matt can't be as healed here. Alright, I do think I know who I want to buff up next. That is, unless everyone ends up dying again. So we do have another charge shot at the ready here, so why don't we have Lance use his turn to launch another attack on the boss, since I know that'll take out the one that's currently charging up an attack. Then, considering everyone's health at the moment, why don't we whip out Natalie to heal everyone again? And then I really want to try focusing on finishing off the boss, although I know it's still gonna probably be a while. No, I should play it safe. Let's get the defenses raised so Lance doesn't die quickly. Although, watch, everyone's going to use magic attacks here. I'm calling it now. Everyone's just going to use... Look at that. They're just all using magic attacks. And, of course, it ends up being... Yeah, they're all using magic attacks. So my plan pretty much backfired. Requiring me to once again have to use this turn towards reviving someone. Which seems to be the really common formula around here. Alright, considering the remaining turns, why don't we get Natalie to heal everyone. Keep having to have Natalie heal. And then have Lance maybe cast a bullet hell on this enemy down here. So that way it doesn't remain a nuisance. Out of all these enemies, the one that I'm least worried about are these water ones, as long as there's no thunder one. Okay, at this point, Lance is kind of our human shield. So I'm kind of not as much worried about Lance dying at this point, considering the state of things at the moment. Though his limit break is ready, so let's go ahead and cast it. Since that can get rid of a ton of the flowers on screen at the moment. And then to top things off, actually... Yeah, no, let's finish off that flower so it doesn't decide to do a sacrifice attack. Okay. Well, that just happened. Well, usual formula here. Get them back up. Get them revived. And then think about what we want to do next. So I think next... Why don't we go ahead and cast another all-out heal. And the next turn I really need to see if I can have the opening that I desperately need to, at least have a chance at getting everyone's stats up. Because I just never seem to get that here. So how about this? We have Natalie fall back. Lance use his coffee on Anna. Anna can use maybe absolute 0 to freeze everyone. Since by doing that, we won't have to worry about... Some of them, of course, have frozen immediately. And one of them didn't even get frozen, even though that's supposed to have the high chance of freezing everyone. I think Anna's about to die again. Let's at least try and increase everyone's defense here so we at least have a fighting chance for some characters on screen. I'm certain one of them is going to die. It ended up not being Anna, to my shock. But at least with that ice spell up, we have some time. So here's what I think we do. I'm gonna have Anna increase... actually, no, Anna, you heal everyone. I'm just gonna focus all out attacks on the boss at this point. Because we're getting fairly close to taking out the boss here. That, like, we only need a little bit more and then it's finished. No, that's too powerful of a move. Why don't we have... Lance take this turn to restore everyone's MP. Just to make sure everyone has plenty. I know everyone else has high defense, but Lance doesn't. So I want to give Lance a fighting chance here. And then, what kind of attacks would be highly effective on him using Anna? I think for Anna, I think I'm just going to use Anna to maybe... The other flowers are going to be up and at him after this turn. So why don't we use Gaia Bloom to be able to cast the Tire status effect. I know I didn't want to do this again, but it may help a little bit. Also, everyone's still alive, meaning that I now have an opening to have Natalie. Why don't we have Natalie take this turn to get magic defense up? And then we have a different character take this turn to get everyone healed up. That's what I'd like to do this turn, because we have plenty of healing items, and then continue to focus all-out attacks on the boss, because the boss is beginning to run low on HP as long as it doesn't heal or anything, which it seems to be the rare chance that that actually happens, so I think we should be good in terms of that. Oh, geez. Anna is very dangerously low on health at the moment. So, we're gonna need to cast probably another... No, let's cast an individual heal spell here. And then just keep focusing attacks on the boss. Actually, no, why don't we take this turn to get physical defense up? Because we have 2 party members on screen that could use some physical buffs. And I'm glad I did. Fortunately, Natalie still died. That's okay though, because we can now do this. Once again, we can activate her limit break, allowing us once again another opening to unleash some strong attacks. Leaving us only a little bit away now from taking the boss out. Oh, jeez. Okay, Natalie got taken out rather quick. That boss knows how to unleash some strong attacks. Alright, we do still need Natalie to keep the healer, though. So I'm gonna have to keep Natalie on screen while I see if I can eventually finish off the boss here. Wow, that thing hardly hit us at all. I'm glad I didn't worry about it. Is that another widespread? Of course you specifically target Anna here. And of course Anna dies. Let me think, is there anything else I could do here that could be resourceful other than just trying to keep the party alive at this point? Because while we're definitely doing better this attempt, still not quite going very well. Especially with all that constantly happening. So it looks like we may have a chance here. Alright, Matt, this is your time to shine. Cast another cleaver on it. We're so close to taking it out. We're very close. I once again, though, need to resort to Natalie being my healer for the group. Okay, mostly a stat weakening move. Though if this guy decides to target Natalie, Natalie's gonna be dead again. Which luckily that didn't happen, so why don't we whip out Lance out this turn and get some physical defense up this turn. So these guys could use some physical defense buffs. And then an all-out attack on the boss. And then why don't we take this turn to maybe try and attack someone directly? Why don't we cast, considering its current stats, why don't we cast another Gaia Bloom on the boss to continue having it tired, to continue lowering its accuracy, and then maybe next turn, as long as there's no having to revive anyone, we could consider another... Haha, I got auto-revive, you didn't take me out there. Unless this guy decides to take someone out, in which it didn't. Very close, but did not take anyone out. Would like to take this turn to take that one out, though. Yeah, I think we're at that point where we should start taking some of these guys out. Pretty sure Humor is maxed out here, too, so we're having a bit of trouble in terms of that. So why don't we take this turn to cast... How about a Reflex, so we can have higher evasion? So that'll make it to where its attacks will have a much harder time hitting us. And, of course, that thing's attacks still hit us. And that. So I'm still gonna have to revive Natalie here. At this point, though, we're pretty much just kind of wrapping things up, because the boss only has a little bit of health left. Why don't we get some magic defense up here? See how we're doing fairly good on health, and in terms of the enemies on screen, I think it'll be a good idea. And of course, it decides to focus towards physical attacks this turn, although just one more hit and that boss is finished. And of course, Anna doesn't have the proper revival items this turn. Alright, how about this? This turn we whip out maybe Matt. Activate. Wait a minute. There is another ability we could use at this time that Natalie has. Natalie has Genesis, which is a move that revives or gives auto-revive to all party members, and is highly powerful. I have learned the ultimate holy magic. It's great for offense and defense. This will get Lance revived and allow us an opening to finish the boss off. This should do it. Take that, you nasty plant thing. Maybe we can finally get some fresh air. Alright, so with that, we're just wrapping things up now. Ah, you can't get me. I have auto-revive. You know what? We can use a coffee here. I'd say we have plenty left, and Lance has earned it at this point. Alright, one more hit and this guy's finished. Let's, to be safe, cast a Firestorm. Oh, I was a little bit worried there and thought it was going to try and get a last-ditch effort attack in. Not enough to level up, but that's a lot of XP. Okay, after that first defeat, I was a little bit worried we weren't going to pull it off this episode, but here we are. We've managed to be victorious. Allowing us to finally be done with this jungle. Though I do think I'm going to call it there, because that one boss took me the entire episode. Just going to save there just in case something goes wrong with this recording. But with that being said, starting next episode, we'll finally be able to move on to what I believe should be the final town. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, this is the Gamer of Gamers, and stay excellent, everyone!